What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the SBP on this fine Sunday morning. As always, I'm your boy Prime Source. What is good?
Prime, what's going on, man?
Another day. How you feeling?
Feeling terrible. Legs hurt, back hurt. Both of my Achilles hurt. Have you ever had pain in your Achilles?
I know I've had a feeling back there, so I guess that would be the Achilles. Yeah, I've had some slight pain in the Achilles.
Both of them, same time.
What?
I'm like, Lord, I'm gonna walk slow. I don't want no problems.
Real out here in these streets. Tell the people why you're hurting.
So I refed yesterday after, I don't think I refed in 2 years. I think I refed the state tournament 2 years ago, but I haven't regularly refed since COVID. Like I think I did one full stint after COVID had started, but since then I haven't really refed, like talking about, except here or there, a couple games. I did 7 games yesterday at the Virginia Flag Football State Tournament out there from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. straight, no breaks. Only breaks was walking away at halftime for a few minutes, or it wasn't even no between games. It was bad business. And I'm hurting. Not feeling good.
Feel for you, man. Feel for you. So you just came back to do it this time. You're not gonna continue doing it on the regular?
Oh no. Well, I mean, no. I considered it last year. But it doesn't. No, I don't know that it really benefits me at this point. I mean, financially, obviously, but other than that, nah. Plus, I saw some people yesterday still playing. Some of my old teammates still playing. Some of my younger than me teammates from back in the day still playing. So that was cool to see a few people here and there. But other than that, I'm good, bro. I'm good. My body don't want it no more. Don't want it no more.
People thought you was making a comeback like Snoop's, huh?
Somebody said, "Hey, where your cleats at?" I said, "In the trash."
Not the cleats. They wanted you to get all the way in.
Hey, you know.
Nah, it ain't happening.
I'm good, bro.
Do you own a new pair of cleats? Last time you bought a pair of cleats?
Before COVID. Definitely before COVID. Yeah, probably 2019 maybe.
Now I always like to ask because I know cats that that play, have played or play certain sports. Even one of my homies, man. But shout out to my man G, former LC Bird Skyhawk. My man is actively, even at our age now, getting down in the baseball. They still play baseball. They got some adult leagues out there. I don't know if it's softball or baseball, but I see he's still doing this thing. And I know that brother gonna keep a pair of cleats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He gonna keep them joints out there for that diamond. You feel me?
I hear that. Yeah, they can have that joint. I'm good.
So you good?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So shout out to all of you that checked us out last week. We had a great show. Shout out to Didge and Jawan, the homies, man. They held it down. We had a great show last week, discussing some things, some real good discussion going on. I'm sure we'll see those guys again before this season is over, and maybe ain't even into the playoffs, man. But those guys are outstanding, so I had to give my boys some love.
Of course, salute.
Holding it down. Especially when my man Source was out there on the road doing his thing, handling his business.
Yeah, out there on the road indeed.
No doubt. You had a decent trip?
Yeah, man. Shout out to my daughter Jada, as she hasn't. All right, so she's a senior this year, and she hasn't competed since she was a sophomore in outdoor. She did outdoor track sophomore year, but she got hurt in like April. We were out at Duke at one of her meets, and she, came up gimpy. So she thought she'd be ready for 23, went into 23, got hurt again before she was healthy. Ended up missing all of 23 for indoor and outdoor.
Right.
So last weekend was her first meet back in over 500 days. And she ran one event. She ran the 60-meter, and she won her heat. She came in second in the overall.
Nice.
And, she's back at it. So we had to be there. So my wife, my daughter, her parents, her brother-in-law, and his girlfriend, and I all rode up to Ithaca for the meet. And we had a good time, saw her, got to hang out, chill. It was snowing crazy. Snow
was coming down.
Bro, listen, we had an Airbnb, and in the instructions it said, you need a 4-wheel drive vehicle or a truck if it gets snowy or icy. Somehow that didn't get relayed to the people who actually went and picked up the the rental. We were in a minivan trying to go up a steep hill, and then it started snowing. Like, we got up there the first couple times, the first day, second day after we came from the meet, trying to go up the hill. I'm driving. We were more than halfway. We're like almost to the top. It just started going ski.
Oh.
I put the pedal to the floor. We was going 15, bro. That Joe said 15, and the wheels were just spinning. It said 15, and the pedal was to the floor. We weren't going nowhere. I was like, okay, let me get into save a life mode, because I was like, if we go either way, we're in a ditch. If we go sliding either way, we're in a ditch.
Oh my goodness!
On a hill, and it's pitch black. Well, not pitch black, but it's dark. It's not like, it's just people that live there. That's it. And I was like, all right, through that joint, and I hit the brake. I looked around. I said, all right, well, ain't nobody else gonna come up this street, so put that joint in reverse back. I don't know how far. A good 30 seconds. I don't know. It probably wasn't far, but it felt like forever. We were going backwards.
Oh.
And I just went until I found out a house with a driveway. It wasn't even a house with a driveway. It was a street that if you were going that direction, the street is on an angle, so it's like a veer off. But there was nothing else coming up, so I had to kind of swing that joint to get over there. And I just went back down the hill, found another way to get up that joint. We got there, but I was like, yeah, we ain't going that way no more. Ain't no need. Death trap.
Glad y'all made it safe, brother. They know you went through all that, man. I'm glad you made it safe.
It was wild. Good time, though. Good time overall.
Word up. Shout out to all the people in the chat checking us out this morning. As always, the OG, JB is in the house.
JB.
AK was good. The brother Arvin Jackson is in the house. DB.
AJ, hit me up, man. Hit me up, so I still feel like I'm in the loop.
Hit him up, AJ. You heard him, bro. Shout out to our brother Dorian Bryans.
DB. Everybody got initials today.
Yeah, we got AJ, we got DB, we got JB, AK. We in there, bro. We in there. Dorian said there's nothing like watching your kids compete in sports.
Yeah, shout out to Dorian's son.
No doubt. And his daughter, for sure.
On his football field.
No
and his
doubt.
daughter, of course.
No doubt, man. Great father right there, man. With some great kids, man, doing their thing. No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. Donna, what's going on? Been a long time. Good morning to you. We in the house, y'all. Chester, we in the house. They boy JB giving a shout out to DB. So it's all good. It's all good. Appreciate y'all checking us out this morning. And we back, doing what we do on most Sunday mornings, and sometimes every once in a while during the week, man. So whether you're out there watching TV, still cooking breakfast, doing nothing, laying in bed, we appreciate whatever you folks are doing to spend a few minutes to check us out, whether it's just for a short time or for the whole broadcast, man. We appreciate y'all. Much love.
Yeah. Hey, get y'all sheets in. I ain't locked the joint yet. I don't know. We fading fast, though. We've been fading all season. We've been going from like 60 to like 30. Now we looking at 20s, and I'm like, oh,
It's that time of year. This is what happens. This that time of year. Whether you talking sheets, FanDuel participation. I mean, we already the people dwindled off after last year anyway. And I made my point, which I proved to be right. But I got the same regulars, the same people that's down every week. Shout out to the folks again in every week or most weeks. Big Joe Cassis in the house, JB, Don, AJ be in the mix. Cheryl Parker, our resident lady, FanDuel who be taking folks' money. You know what I'm saying? All of y'all, man, no doubt. Andre, my man, Andre Curley, everybody, man, all of you that participate every week is much love, man. We're going to do our thing regardless who else get in, so we got it on auto resize. So whether it's for some big money or a little bit of money, we appreciate whatever we get.
Word.
I appreciate y'all. No doubt. JB says the last weekend of youth basketball, so we know we doing this thing out there with the fam, man. Shout out to the fam out there checking out the little ones, no doubt.
Do it.
No doubt. But hey, man, so we missed you last week. Like I say, the guys and I really had a really good time talking about some things. And one of the things that we talked about, bro, is something that we're gonna lead off with today, because last week when we were talking, we were just talking about the news that was in the media. Nothing had really happened. But now it's happened since our last broadcast, and that would be Bill Belichick. It's official. Your man's Bill can jump down to the college ranks to coach UNC. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I was telling the guys last week, I said, I can't see Bill doing that. This could be a ploy just to let these people know. I know Black Monday is about to happen here in a few weeks. I just know this is about to go down. I'm just going to float this out here right about this time. You feel me? And just put it out there that I might be thinking about going to coaching college ranks. Not really going to do it. So y'all can ring my phone. But boy, was I wrong about this one, man. What did you think?
I thought the same thing. I was like, well, not that deeply, but I thought Bill was just talking. I was like, Bill Belichick in college. Even my daughter's like, Bill gonna be yelling at these kids. He deal with these kids.
But he is.
I don't know what he gonna do. I don't know what kind of environment, atmosphere this is going to be. But I gotta think that it will be a big deal for a lot of players. In the same, not in the same vein, but in a similar vein as to Prime at Colorado, or Prime at Jackson State, and then at Colorado, and kids that you don't expect to go to that particular program end up going there. I think Bill Belichick will garner that type of admiration, respect from some players, and he will get some names that you don't expect him to get, and there will be a quick change. I don't know how long Bill gonna be there, but I think there'll be a quick change in UNC football, just from being connected to the name Bill Belichick and what that leads to. But him going there, I'm like, why? Why would you do this, sir? Why?
5-year deal. And as you mentioned, you don't know how long. None of us know how long the Bill is going to be there. 2 years, 2 years in, he might be out of there. Shoot, a year and he might be out of there. Something comes about. I haven't really peeked into how that contract structure is there. Structured is there a way he can just get out of it? Would there be a buyout between the league and the college? I don't know how it's broken down. But Bill might be out of there in a year or two. He may say, I'm here for a good time and not for a long time, and possibly gracing the NFL sidelines again. I was telling the guys last week, I was saying, I honestly thought initially and said, man, I would see him just shutting it all down and going to coach a high school team, in the later days before I see him coaching on the college level, whatever that we see going on. But of course, as I mentioned, I was wrong. But now that we've seen that he's there, what do you think of the chances of him bringing in some of his old staff, some of his old guys to go into these kids' homes, like, Josh McDaniels or Matt Patricia, some of them other guys?
I don't know about those two. I mean, those two, of course, possibilities, but I don't know who. But he's definitely got to bring in some of his younger cohorts, assistants, to be a closer connection to the players as far as age and relatability. somebody said Bill got to get some black coaches. He got to get some black coaches. He gonna have to.
Think Keyshawn said it.
Keyshawn said it. Okay, yeah, I know. I
Keyshawn
heard.
Johnson. Yep.
Yeah, got to, just for that relatability aspect. And somebody's got to talk to these people, because if Nick Saban out here dipping like, bro, I ain't trying to deal with this whole NIL stuff and all that. They getting money now, ain't nobody listening. If Saban dipped out on them, you would think that Belichick would be like, nah, this ain't really for me. And yet here we are.
Don OG is in the house. Don Mega. What's going on, bro? Glad you're in the mix, because we're going to talk about your Niners up here in a little bit. But yeah, no doubt, no doubt. JB says that UNC will still be a basketball school.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
I don't really care, because you know how I feel about UNC basketball. But yeah, they will be. So yeah, they'll definitely still be a basketball school. So they go from the oldest coach, Division I, to the oldest coach, head coach in Division I. So just in a matter of a few short weeks, I guess. I don't know I forgot how long it's been. But they definitely going to have to bring in some folks that can get in these homes and talk to these kids. And I'm talking about Bill being there for a good time and not a long time. That's what the same thing the kids saying. That's the same thing the kids saying, right? So, hey man, I think though, I liked his message. I saw somewhere where he just put it out there blatantly. He was like, look, you trying to get to the league, I'm your guy. You know, that's going to be his recruiting pitch. And why wouldn't he?
Yep.
You know, look what I've done. You want the direct pathway to get to the league, you need to come over here and roll with me. I'm going to get you to the league. I done done it. I didn't coach it. I didn't want. I know people. So I think that's going to be a great recruiting pitch. The one thing I would like to see, though, if there's going to be a challenge, and some of you might think, man, it's just this small, but I would like to be in some of these parents' houses, these kids' houses, is when he goes to recruit the state of Florida. And do you know why I say that?
Why?
Well, because of the fact that how many of those parents are Miami Dolphins fans? Think about what they've done to the Dolphins over these years. And you go in there and you pull up in the yard and they got the Dolphins flag out in front of the house, and you walk in and the daddy got the Dolphins mat in there. And you come in and recruit this boy who's like 4-star quarterback coming out of high school, and he's having that tug of war decision. Should I let my son go here?
Bob Greasy jersey.
Yeah. I ain't forgot what y'all did to us back on October 16th. You know what I'm saying? 2017 was 42 to 6. You know, I would love to be in some of those houses when he go to recruit down in Florida.
He'll switch them. He'll turn them around real quick. And they're going to be like, oh, Bill's not a bad guy, you know.
Bill returns, yeah, well, look, let's think about it. If this thing don't work out in a couple of years, I'm still cool with the Patriots. You think about it that way. Your son wants to get to the league, right? Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's the league. You worry about what team you got loyalty for or the money. What we talking about
here? Yeah, the money. Shoot, Daddy, he is the money. He is going to be the money. The money is going to be at UNC.
Hey, you know those TV shows, you always see those movies or those TV shows where usually the sitcoms, where the father has that hard stance on something, and then the wife has to come in there and have that talk with him. You know, in this case, be one of those cases where the wife is not really a big football fan in this case, right? She just, you know, she's just the voice of reason, the loving mother. And she has to go in there and talk to him. I think you should let him go with Bill. I mean, this is what we've always wanted, blah, 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 in the school, you know. And the father softens up and he ends up at UNC.
And then the father's rocking all UNC gear the rest of his life.
It's one of those ones he goes to the games the first couple of weeks, kind of reluctant, but he's happy because of his son.
And folded.
Next thing you know, they start the season like 4-0. No. He's buying gear. Every time he's in town, he's buying gear, right?
Got the pendant, waving that jump.
Yeah, man. But I like that message though. Bill's put it out there that, hey, I'm the gateway. I'm one of the gateways to the league. Your son want to play to the league, and I guess that's his thing of getting the big recruits like right now. You know, getting them right now and see if we can turn this thing around. When is the last time we talked about UNC in football? We gave him a little bit of talk with Drake May. That's because Drake May was looking like a big prospect for a hot second. But when have we really talked about UNC in football?
That's true. Quarterback before Drake May, couple before Drake May, Bears. Why am I blanking on his name? Because I blank on stuff these days. That's why. Number 2 pick.
You talking about Fields?
No.
No, what you talking about? What'd you say?
You said when was the last time we talked about him about UNC football?
Oh,
I'm saying
Drake.
Before Drake May.
Oh, the quarterback? Oh,
yeah.
Trubisky.
Yeah, man, Mr. Trubisky.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the last time. That's the last time. You see how that turned out.
Don said Bill better keep up with that young tender he got around the team. Yeah, man got him a 24-year-old.
So is the threat more the players and her, or is the threat more Bill and the whole student body? I don't know which ones. I don't know.
Hey, y'all better be careful though. Y'all talking about Bill worried about her. I mean, Bill pulled a 24-year-old. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying the campus is lit out there.
Hide your kids.
What about the parent that decide sway their kid to go somewhere else just because Belichick is there for whatever reason? Wow, man. This is gonna be good though. And I hope Bill does well. Like, cause I know here, I mean, we don't talk about UNC like talking about in the 804. I mean, we've got a few stories in this area. Like here in the 804, we got, my man's actually really distant cousin. And we got my man William Henderson. Boogie's played for Thomas Dale. Used to be years ago when Brett, he ended up being, he was Brett Favre's fullback for many years, won the Super Bowl. Down here in our area, we talk about that. Yeah. Other than that, if you talk about in VA, the real talk is maybe you bring up Ronald Curry and why he went there. I don't know. Nobody talks about Carolina football. You can get basketball talk all day. You can ride through here where I live. And where I live, you go up and down the street, there's UNC stuff out in people's yards.
I was saying,
basketball,
Yeah.
So we're going to see what Bill is going to do, but I thought that was very interesting. He took the job, and we'll see what happens. But I hope he's successful. I hope he is successful. This would give us another story, beyond what the great work that Deion has done, out in Colorado, shining light on a program that's just been horrible. Been horrible. Got them back to major respectability. And they're going to stay respectable. If Prime stays where he stays there, which he says that he is, I know everybody's worried about now and them in the bowl game. And, of course, shout out to, to Travis Hunter for getting that Heisman last night. But if you guys haven't looked at Colorado's recruiting class, quarterback down to the DB, they loaded, bro.
Loaded.
So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody, man. But let's hope Bill gets it done. Well, I'm gonna hope Bill gets it done out there for the year or two, however long he's there. We need something exciting to talk about football. Because football ain't the same no more, Source. Ain't the same no more. You can't get comfortable with your team no more. I mean, same in basketball too, but more so in football because everybody just hit the transfer portal.
Tough.
This is did you see the Marshall football team? Then backed out of the bowl game because they don't have no kids.
Everybody said, "Nah, I'm out. Coach gone. I'm gone. I ain't playing with y'all." Yeah.
And somebody made a good point that I saw. They was like, imagine trying to find a team to replace them, because a lot of the teams that you probably look for to replace them, their kids probably already go to. They love their school. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I'm already.
So. It's gonna be one of them. Not the same level of sadness or whatever the case, tragedy.
Well,
But after the after the what was it, the plane crash years ago,
mm-hmm.
and they had to come back with a whole new team, a whole new staff,
Yeah, much.
whole new everything. Yeah, obviously not the same, not as tragic, of course, but
Have you watched
yeah,
the movie?
like that. Yeah.
You have?
Uh-huh.
I can't bring myself to watch the movie.
Oh, really?
I've had for years since that movie's been out. I've had it saved on my. Every time I go hit the button, ready to go hit the button, I end up not watching it, and it's happened a ton of times. I can't bring myself to watch the movie.
Just because of how tragic it is?
Yeah, it's like, and I don't even know how it plays. I mean, I know the story, but how it plays out, but it's just something that gets me about watching the movie. It's almost like, I know people gonna say I'm crazy. It's like, come on, Prime, but I'm just gonna say it's like Titanic was one of the biggest movies ever in the history. Man, I ain't watched Titanic. Man, I've seen it, and but I've never seen it. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when I know off top some true events in there and what's gonna happen, and I know that people gonna die, I can't watch it.
I understand.
I just can't watch it. Now if you catch me off guard and I watch a movie and they die at the end where you didn't die, I already know. But a lot of these things are based off of true stories, and I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Of a true story. But I've never watched it. Was it We Are Marshall? I've never watched it.
You know what? I respect that. I respect it. Let me ask you this: two things. One, let me say the one thing first before I forget. We got to do a show that has nothing to do with sports and just talk randomly.
Yeah.
We still got to do that. We got to do that
for sure.
But two, are you a fan of watching people fall or get hurt or stuff like that? The videos are supposed to be funny and people, I guess it's embarrassment.
So
I don't know if it's the same thing.
I don't go looking for that. Now, of course, stuff trends, right? So videos trend, and they check this out, and somebody's getting, I know they about to get smacked, coming around the corner by reading the caption or something like that. No, I don't go looking for those videos, but it doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna be the type of person that's out there looking to film and post all that content. Now I'll post a good hit or somebody catching a crazy dunk. I mean, and somebody falls. I mean, okay, I get it, but I don't go searching for those videos. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I mean, it doesn't bother me, per se. Like I would tell you watching one of these movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those videos bother me. I don't like watching people look. I don't know what the level of my caring about it is one way or the other, but I don't like watching people look crazy, look stupid, like get embarrassed. I don't necessarily.
Yeah, I'm
you know what I'm saying? Like the death thing, obviously that's much worse.
Yeah.
And I actually I get not wanting to watch a movie where somebody gonna die. It's tragic, and I get it. I get that. That's how I feel about slavery movies, generally speaking.
I don't watch.
Yeah, that's how I feel about those. But people like getting embarrassed or getting slapped in the face, or I don't like that stuff. I don't like it. It doesn't amuse me most of the time. Now, sometimes you'll run across one, it'll be funny, like you said, catch you off guard or whatever. But I just don't find that stuff to be as funny as most people do. So I didn't know if the two were, if there was any correlation between the two, but I guess not.
Yeah. And like I say, with me, it's more so like sports movies, any type of movie. With me, it's a difference between it not being a real movie. People die in the movies. That's just what it is. I can go watch, Avengers Endgame and shit. I know what's going to happen. That's different. But I'm talking like true stories.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you coming up as a kid, we all watched Brian's song, right? That was like, and they forced us to watch that in school. I saw that probably 3 times before I ever graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I'm cool. I'm old school. I'm cool. I haven't, as great as the acting was in that movie. Billy D and my man, what's his name that played Brian Piccolo? I can see his face now. James, is it James? Whatever his name is. Great movie. I understand. I have no desire to watch it anymore. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is, man. But lots going on, man. Lots going on with these with all these events. Let's see what we got up here. Does Travis Hunter need a prenup? I don't know. We might have to call him. I just got nothing to do with that. Hey, he been with the young lady. Travis Hunter been with the young lady since high school. I don't know if that's supposed to mean anything, but I'm just telling y'all, it wasn't one of those things that just popped up that he met her when he was going to college and all that. So he's been with her since high school. So that's up between him, her, and maybe Travis's mama. I don't know. They got to figure that out.
I posted after he won the Heisman. I just posted Travis Hunter on Facebook. Well, on Facebook on here, on my personal page, and the first comment. And I gotta find it. I don't know.
Appreciate you, JB. James. Yeah, James Conn. Yep.
Was it James Conn?
Yep. When I said James Cagney, I knew it was James something, but yeah, James Conn.
The first comment. There's only 2 comments, but the first comment says his mama and aunties and them need to get him from that girl. Couldn't be my son, SMH.
Well, I saw one in comment. I saw who posted on your joint.
Yeah.
So y'all already know. Shout out Kimmy.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, man. Interesting enough. But yeah, man, let's get into the next one, man. The next one is big. We got a couple of Nana fans in here, man. So we might as well get into this thing and talk about the state of the 49ers. And look, first of all,
California. Sorry.
For me, y'all know my guys in here, especially JB and Don. I ain't throwing no shade in the situation. It is what it is. We got to talk about it because you guys and probably nobody else expected the 49ers to be in the situation that they are in right now. We're in week 15 and the San Francisco 49ers are sitting on the bottom of their division. Nobody saw that. And you and I were just sitting here a couple of weeks ago talking about the Niners is a funny team. They're sitting at the bottom and can still very well win this division and find themselves playing in the San Francisco, in San Francisco sometime in the playoffs. Maybe get a home game at some point, depending on how things shake out. But still, just playing in the playoffs in general, right? Don't look like that now, man. So, where has this team gone wrong, man? Like this year, like what has really happened? We understand there's some injuries and things, but in a nutshell, in your opinion, what has gone wrong with the San Francisco 49ers?
I don't think there are some injuries. I think there are all the injuries. Like it's been a rough year. It's been a rough year for the 49ers, health-wise. That joint's crazy. Now, what I don't love is the people that I've seen saying the state is planning for next season. What I don't love is the people I've seen like fire Shanahan. I'm like, hold on, like y'all been in or around the Super Bowl multiple times in the last few years. Now y'all have a bad season with a whole bunch of injuries, and y'all like fire Shanahan. Are y'all serious though? Y'all serious? Y'all not serious. I can't believe y'all. Although people saying it, some of the people saying it don't love him anyway. Right? And I'm like, I don't know. I just
why? Because they're not winning Super Bowls? Like I don't know. I don't get it. I've seen that too.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I want to compare it to Ryan Day and Ohio State, but that's kind of different because you got the Michigan thing and the level of importance of Michigan and Ohio State for some people is as crazy as winning a national championship. So that's kind of different, but it's kind of the same because like your coach wins all the time. You can't have a bad season. And because you didn't win the championship, you like, let's get rid of them. Nah, it's a whole bunch of people waiting in line. Like, let them go. y'all let him go. Let him go. We're gonna bring him right over here. There's a whole bunch of people. So if you don't have a better plan, I don't get the fire Shanahan, or it's just gonna look like I don't know.
Yeah, when I see the Niners now, man, the first thing I think about is first song that come to mind is Jay-Z. This can't be like. Yeah, like 2 years ago, the last 2 years, we've won at least 12 games. And then this year happens, and they have had a ton of injuries, like JB says there. But to me, it's still something else, right? I wouldn't, even with the injuries, I wouldn't expect them to be on the bottom of the division, the injury that they've had. Because we saw, granted, none of those backs they had to replace McCaffrey at the time were McCaffrey. But we've seen them be productive, right?
True.
We've seen the offense be productive. We just saw Jennings go crazy. Was it last week? The week before? Like, we just saw him go crazy, right? Kittle's still there. I think the biggest deal is the defense. And I understand he didn't have Greenlaw. I know Don was waiting for Greenlaw to come back, and he's back. But it's just not been the same, man. So you look at it, they're sitting on the bottom of the division. And the crazy thing is, offensively, they've scored more points than anybody in the division on the season. On the defensive side of the ball, they've given up the second most amount of points in the division. So I understand, we got to go across the board. There's injuries on both sides, but that defense has fallen off more than anything to me. At least this season they have. It's not the same.
Tough times in 49er land. They be all right though. Not this year, as mentioned. Not this year.
Yeah, they're gonna be with us.
The question gonna be: Are they re-signing? Are they re-signing?
They got I haven't gone through their whole salary cap, but you talk about some money. So your boy McCaffrey had just inked that extension. I think he added 2 years to it. So I believe, if I saw it correctly, they played it out for the next 3 or 4 seasons. I think he would be owed a total of like $62 million, I think, with the extension included. So I'm not saying that you need to chop that. I'm just telling you, just dealing with his money. The one that gets me though is Debo, right? And that's funny. I didn't even see that Don had just put this in here.
I was about to, after you finished talking, I was gonna say, because you gonna mention Debo or no?
Debo doesn't run routes like he used to. He can't get open to save his life, and all the drop passes. And it's interesting. Debo has 2 total touchdowns on the season. 1 rushing, 1 receiving. And I don't think he's touched the end zone. I was sitting there telling you until last week, of course, when JJ got in the end zone, I was telling you that JJ hadn't scored since just before Halloween.
October,
yeah. I think Debo was maybe the second week of October. Yeah.
And did you hear the people booing him last week? I did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not last week. The other day. So I'm sorry, the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow. And like Cuzzo said, hey, you can't talk. You can't talk and drop passes, right? Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't be unproductive, drop passes, talk crazy, slapping kickers. Like, what is happening?
Debo. I tell you this. You mentioned the deal about getting rid of Shanahan. Did you see the crazy thing floating? I think it was Mike Florio on NBC had reported. He said he's talking about some scenarios, and one could be the possibility of the Chicago Bears trading possibly 2 first-round draft picks for Shanahan.
I saw that, but I figured that was just, I didn't see it was Florio. I just figured that was some random site just throwing out scenarios.
Florio said it first, and then people have kind of run with it now.
Okay.
And Florio is well respected. And what you gotta understand about Florio, I'm not saying that that's what's being talked about, but if Florio is saying it, somebody like him is saying it, then I'm not saying that somebody said it's going to happen or they're exploring it, but there's been some things floating around before it got to him. That's what I'm telling you. You know, whether they're true or not, or somebody was just throwing out some things, right? But and I'll be honest with you, I don't think Chicago would be a bad deal for him. To be honest with you, I he could do with the potential on that football team, but that's a whole other story. But I don't know if we're gonna get to that because he came on after the loss the other night and he said that he didn't want to be anywhere else but the 49ers. But I don't know how much of a say he would have in that either. But
right, true.
Crazy we talk about coaches getting traded.
Yeah. Wild times.
Coaches getting traded. Hey Don, JB, what do y'all think, man? What do y'all want to do about Purdy and his money? So it's mentioned, you know, some things earlier we were talking about getting rid of people, some money. What do you guys feel about giving Purdy some that loot that money he's talking about? And was it like 60 million? I forgot what I saw, but there is some talk about that. Let me see. Don, well, I guess why they're getting their answers together for that. Don says, I wasn't too fond of bringing CMC back this year at all.
You weren't too fond of CMC when he first got picked up, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I think he was concerned about his injury proficiency.
Yeah, AK say Shanahan is a glorified OC. The crazy thing that you're saying that I was on this one site. It's not that San Francisco. It's one of the papers that writes for San Francisco. I was on one of the sites earlier in the week, and when you started reading the comments from like the Niner fans, there were some fans that were saying that exact same thing.
Who said that?
AK.
Who was AK? Oh, okay. I know if AK was somebody else, I'm supposed to know who it was. I'm like, imagine. Well,
no Connor Purdy.
It's Kirilenko.
Dre in the house.
Imagine if he was an actual coach then, because you've been to multiple Super Bowls. I don't understand. What are we doing? What are we doing?
AK, are you a Niner fan? Just curious. He said no comment. Says no comment on he said no comment on Purdy. JB says need to give him around 45 mil a year. I can dig it. I can dig it. Me personally, he's gonna get some money regardless. I was seeing that 55 and 60 floated around somewhere. I don't know if I'm doing that, but if I can get him for 45 or 50 possibly, I definitely have to entertain it. I don't think that Purdy is he's way down the list of the source of your problems in San Francisco. Let's see. Purdy can get the bag. There's a lot of other QBs out there getting the bag that haven't performed on Purdy's level. Who else they gonna get? I got you.
And that's the question.
That's the question. Like he said, he a Steelers fan. Okay, I got you. Y'all got a big one today. Big one.
You need to focus. You need to focus. Focus.
I like it. It's been a while since I'm trying to think the last time we had a Steelers fan in here that I know about. I know Will popped in once, but I think he just said hi and jumped out. But yeah, no doubt. They got a big one today. JB says Shanahan can get you to the big games, but he can't win them. So JB, that means y'all would you be cool with moving on from Shanahan, or y'all need to stay the course?
Y'all went to overtime. Y'all were in a whole different joint. Y'all was up by 10 in the fourth quarter.
Hey, I'm with JB on this because I grew up all my life hearing about my uncle tell me that the boys. He said he always loved I grew up in a cowboy household, so I was gonna be a cowboy regardless. Other than my grandma was she liked Washington, and she liked the Colts because they were Baltimore Colts back then, and so respected. She Burt Jones, respected her, but my uncle used to always tell me. My uncle was kind of really like my big brother because we lived in the same house for the longest time, until he moved out. But he would always tell me, I love the Dallas Cowboys, but I stopped watching them every week because they can't win the big one. And then, of course, if you go back before the 90s when we were wrecking shop, if you go back to, the 80s, either getting there and before then, we had some ones we didn't win. So I understand what JB saying about not being able to win the big one. Or win when it counted.
But he can't, though. He can't.
Huh?
He can't win a big one.
They said they haven't won it. I'm just saying. I understand.
Imagine being a Utah Jazz fan talking about, man, we just can't win the big one. Yeah, you're playing against Michael Jordan.
Well, look,
what do
I got
y'all
a dog in that fight too,
what
so you can get that hits a soft spot right there too. You can bring up Mike with me, you know what I'm saying? But that's
sorry, my bad.
Stop even getting to the big one. That's my thing.
I said Utah. I ain't say the Knicks, bro. I said Utah. So.
But I'm just saying, man.
It's a stray. It's a stray.
It's a whole lot of almost, and can't in my life when it comes to sports. So
I hear that.
A whole lot of that, bro. So I understand. And it also goes to the thing, so what are we here for? Like, are we here for just to look good every year and win a lot of games? Or are we here to actually get there and win it? So I get it. Like, it's kind of like the argument that I have with folks all the time about Dak Prescott, right? And when they always talk about with Dak, well, y'all want to go back to, the man's winning 12 games every year. He's going this, that, and the third. Yeah, so y'all just happy with winning 12 games. That's what it is. To me, winning 12 games, me personally, means nothing, especially if you're not winning the prize.
Would you rather have in a 10-year span? Would you rather have 7 losing seasons and 1 Super Bowl, or 8 winning seasons and 2 bad seasons, making it to the championship round and the Super Bowl more than once?
Man, but I only win with the 7 bad seasons, whatever.
Yeah.
Give me the win, baby.
You take 1 Super Bowl and 7.
You gotta understand who you're talking to, though.
I'm just saying.
You gotta understand. I ain't even seen a Super Bowl. We ain't sniffed a Super Bowl since Cincinnati. So
some people ain't never seen a Super Bowl. Look at the Detroit.
I ain't got nothing to do with them people, man. You got nothing to do with them people. And the Niners can't say that the Niners didn't see the Super Bowl.
I ain't think about these Niner fans because I ain't paying them no attention. We go to the Super Bowl and be mad. I'm not trying to hear it, dog. I'm not trying to hear it.
Let me ask you. So you asked.
I love Andy Reid. Don't bring up Andy Reid.
Like, you said about Andy Reid?
Don't bring up Andy Reid. I don't want to hear it.
No, I was gonna say. So what about you asked that question to not the Chargers, the Minnesota Vikings?
What about
last time Minnesota went to the Super Bowl? I'm telling you.
Alan Page. I don't know.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if you would have asked that same question to the Minnesota Viking fans, they're gonna take that Super Bowl. Majority of them are gonna take that Super Bowl. Because like now.
But they don't have nothing to compare to.
But still, they ain't never but you mentioned some people ain't never won anything. I'm just saying.
San Francisco 49ers can't be complaining about nobody nothing. Ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. I'm mad because y'all going
Nana problems. I'm just saying I got my own problems, but I'm not gonna lie, I ain't trying to share in the misery, but it is what it is. They're talking about everybody other than us for a change. Next time you're really gonna talk about us is just when that junk pops up on the screen, it's gonna say that we're officially eliminated. It might happen today. Ain't no inevitable. I'm just saying. But
I'm sure that's on the schedule. I'm about to say,
hey, good look on that. I'm knowing Joku today thing too. I'm dying because I definitely got him in 2 of my lineups. So
what happened? He out?
The button, huh?
He's out.
Yeah, he's out against the Chiefs.
Man,
and which is crazy because that's one of the places the Chiefs have had a problem. is a tight end. So
Mm.
Jerry Jeudy gonna have to continue his ride and get busy, find a way to get busy if Jameson were going to have a shot. The Chief, hey, for the Chiefs fans, I know our guy's not in here today. They get out to get Hollywood back. They say he might play next week.
Ain't really nothing to say because I ain't got nothing to compare him being on the field to.
I mean, I guess offensively right now, anything helps.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, Worthy hasn't turned into the deep threat that they thought they were going to have, right off the bat. So you need to get somebody out there that can go deep.
Some ain't right.
He come back, that's probably going to open up some stuff for Juju too, because that's going to be one less man in that middle when you got to peel off and help somebody.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is Tomlin the coach of the year? He definitely in the running.
He's in the running.
He's definitely in the running. Matter of fact,
shoot.
I would say For me right now, he is the coach of the year as of right now.
3/4 of the way. It's a whole Pittsburgh about to run the gauntlet. So you might not be saying that in 4 weeks. Or in literally 3 weeks, but 4 weeks of games.
JB, that's no doubt. I give you that day. He says he's in the running, but he's down with Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell got to be right there for sure.
I was gonna say Dan Campbell too, JB. That's exactly the first name that popped in my head.
I think I'm leaning on Tomlin right now because of where the Steelers are and what he's been able to do with Russ to this point. Whereas I think most people figured that the Lions were going to be the class of their division anyway. Now, did folks think they were going to be as dominant as they've been? I don't know. But I think most of us felt like Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions were going to be one of the top couple of teams in the NFC coming into this year.
Hey, living up to expectations ain't easy.
No doubt. Don said they both neck and neck. Caesar, what up? No love for Jim? All right, Caesar, gonna make you feel, but y'all, he can get in the conversation. No, he has to be in the conversation.
Yeah, he can be in the conversation.
I think about it. He has to be in the conversation. Yeah, he ain't top 2 though, bro. He ain't top 3, but he's top 5 in this conversation for sure, without a doubt. So let's get into these games, man. We got 6 games that we are going to pick today.
Word.
And while we in the mixes, we way ahead of schedule, which is lovely. We're gonna knock these 6 out. If you got a question about a certain game or two that you want us to pick, maybe that's not on this list. If we have time, we might pick 1 or 2, but we'll see how this goes, right?
You said we're ahead of schedule?
Yeah, man. It's just 12 o'clock.
Man, I didn't know we had a schedule. Prime be on.
I just think about where we usually are about this time.
Yeah.
You start picking games, it's usually about 12:30. So.
Oh yeah, because we actually started close to 11. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that plays into part 2. Sometimes we don't start right at 11. So.
Right. That's what's up.
Real quick, Don tells Caesar to go to sleep, and Caesar said, "Your Niners put me to sleep." They wilding in the comments today. They are wilding in the comments today. All right, so we about to pick some games. You know how we do it. So us and I are going to kick it out there. I know JB is handling business with the family today. If JB's still in, JB and Don, SBP OGs, will also give us their scores.
You want to let Caesar? You want to let Caesar in?
Caesar, if you know what, Caesar, if you want to participate this week, we will include your scores as well. It is up to you, my mans. So let's see what we got here first. First up, we are going to roll out with the Dolphins and the Texans. Both these teams are set to go at it today. Very important game, especially for the Houston Texans, who have not really been playing up to standard as of late. They're still sitting there at 8-5. So if they want to keep this thing moving and ensure that they get in these here playoffs and make a slide, they got to make a move today. What you think about this game?
Man, I'm sick of Houston. I'm sick of Houston all season. Houston is annoying. They are an annoying team. 1 week, Joe Mixon going crazy. Next week, CJ can't hit the broadside of a barn with a, I don't know what you throw at a barn. Whatever you throw at a barn, he can't hit the side of it because he'd go 9 for 30, 10 for 24. Like, what is happening? Dudes ain't even completing 50% of their passes. What kind of football is this? This is crazy. This is crazy. They get on my nerves, though. They get on my nerves. Miami gets on my nerves just as much as Houston. So everybody's back to, not everybody, because most is out, right? A-Chain's hit or miss injury-wise. Receiving core, Miami's pretty solid. But they ain't no better. They're annoying, too. This is a battle of annoying teams. That's what it is. If they could both lose, I would be fine with that. I would be fine with
Call
it.
it tight.
Call it a tie. That's a good idea, Prime. I can't. I'm going 24-21 Houston. They both stink. They don't both stink, but they both are annoying. No, trust me, they annoy me. I'm bothered by these teams.
It's an interesting score there. This is kind of one of those ones that you can make a case of both teams. Tua's been playing really well as of late. 11 TDs, 0 interceptions over the past 4 games. And as you mentioned with the Texans, man, you just don't know what you're going to get. Like, you just don't know what you're going to get. We watched Mixon tear it up early, and then we've seen Mixon struggle. We've seen the Dolphins struggle to run the football at times, but then A-Chain had maybe 2 plays in a game where he breaks it. Mm-hmm. And if you're not watching the game, you're thinking they just been running the ball like this the entire game, right?
Yep.
Now, whether he has a type of game today, I don't know. I can say that the Texans front 4, definitely front 7, is kind of stingy. What scares me about the Texans in this thing, though, is I don't know if you've been paying attention to the amount of penalties that offensive line has gotten like in the past month and a half. So like every time I'm watching a Texans game, especially in the fourth quarter, Laramie Thompson, somebody getting a holding call, tripping call, and I think this game could be close, and I'm kind of scared to pick the Texans because I'm wondering, is that going to be the thing that stops them from winning? They in field goal range, they go kick something to win it, and they get moved out of the way, move back, and they got to make a decision. I'm really scared. But then again, like I said, I have no confidence in the Dolphins overall either. So funny you picked that 24-21 Texans. I had it 24-20 Texans in this one. And, the question going to be, can Nico get busy against a very talented Dolphins secondary? That's going to be the thing. That's going to be the thing if he can find that hole and get that deep one down the seam. And I think he got at least one in him.
I think Nico's going to get busy regardless who out there. He don't care.
All right. So what we got here, Don 23-17. JB 20. Don got Miami. JB got Miami 27-24. And Caesar says Miami 17-14. And everything in between, I should have picked Miami, but I didn't. I'm not.
Me too. Exact same feeling, because Houston even though they've only lost 5 games, they have been disappointing. Although we have to point out that Houston, even though they were very good last season record-wise, that was a bunch of close games that could have gone either way. So maybe in reality they weren't as good as their record showed. They just happened to play well late and get those wins. But they kind of having a tougher time with it this season.
Indeed. Funny game, and some tell me it's still going to be good, but it's going to be good and frustrating at the same time.
Man, all these games today, almost all these games are good today, for real.
Yeah, and that's crazy because that's like the best game of the 1 o'clock slate.
Oh, yeah.
All the rest of the fire is in the 4:25, the evening games.
Wow.
That's what we're about to get into. Next up, I believe that's me. We got the Colts and the Broncos set to go at it. Why are y'all so excited about this game? Or Prime, why are you so excited about this game? Because it's a big game for both teams. Because the Broncos are not going to win the West. The Colts are sitting there like 1 foot, like right on the edge of the playoffs, possibly a wild card, but they're also sitting there where they could be sitting at home. Colts cannot afford to lose this football game. This could very well be for the last wild card spot in the AFC. This is how this could be decided. This game today could go a long way in deciding when it goes down. But yeah, you got both teams. They're trying to get it. The Broncos, I think they coming out here. Their plan is what it is every week. We're going to let the defense handle business, and Bo, you go make plays. And for Jonathan Taylor, who's found some tough sledding in a lot of games, even the games that he scored in, he's not having those 125, those 130s. He's having those 70-yard games, 80-yard games on a touchdown. So Anthony Richardson is going to have to find a way to perform against this Broncos defense. And I ain't too sure he's going to be able to do that, bro.
I ain't too sure he's going to be able to do it either. The struggles continue. I say the struggles continue. Anthony Richardson has played actually better, I guess, generally speaking, than he had prior to benching and all that type of stuff. I still don't trust him. But apparently he's doing enough to keep the Colts around. And I'm totally with you on this whole, like, one of these teams ain't gonna make it. One of these teams ain't getting in. And this could definitely be a strong part of the deciding factor of which one of them get that last spot or get one of those two last spots. Mm-hmm. Your man's Bo Nix out here doing his thug thizzle. That's your guy. That's all you. I'm gonna let you have all of the Bo Nix credit that you can accept.
I like Bo.
Yeah, that's your guy.
I can't remember who it was. It was a couple and granted it's early. I remember with some comments in the Facebook group last year, and I think when he was still in college, and people were talking about he was overrated. And you know how you can translate to the league. There was a couple of comments in there, so it's still early, but y'all see this man can play in the league.
Right. And not that he's going super crazy or anything, but he's definitely keeping Denver going in the right direction. Almost 3,000 yards, 28-42, 17 touchdowns, 8 picks, about a 64% completion rate, and throw in the 300 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns as well. So he's not a slouch out there. Now, Denver hasn't really beaten good teams so far this season. They usually lose to good teams or teams above 500, but they beat teams below 500. Mm-hmm. And what are the Colts? The Colts are 6-7, right?
Mm-hmm.
6-7. But the Colts, I think the Colts like generally are better than 6-7, or maybe they're right where they need to be, because you got to kind of.
They've had injuries too,
and you got to kind of look at that. I mean, at the quarterback position. So a lot of times it comes down to that. So I guess 6-7 might be fair overall. If Indianapolis was at home, I'd probably pick the Colts. But because they're on the road, and Denver's probably a better team overall, I'm gonna go with Denver. I think they get to Richardson a little bit, though. I'm gonna go 27-17 Denver, 10-point win.
That is also JB's score. Exact winner.
That's right, because JB is a smart guy.
Don got the Broncos 23-21.
Because we like that 23 today. He's stuck on that 23 on that Michael Jordan.
On that MJ. And you brought up MJ during this broadcast. Man, I think the problem that Anthony Richardson is going to have is not just that secondary of the Broncos, man, but that defense is ferocious. Second highest blitz rate in the National Football League, man. And and they're leading the league in sacks coming into the week as a total unit. So they coming. They
Yeah.
coming. So, I see Don's talking about for Knicks maybe a 1 rush and 2 passing TDs a day. That's 3 TDs. That might work, but I can see maybe at least 2 picks for Anthony Richardson and touching that ground at least 5 times. So I can give you those numbers right there. But yeah, what's crazy is I have the Broncos 27-17. I didn't really. I'm sitting there looking at y'all scores and telling y'all that y'all matched. I'm looking down at my paper. Yeah, 27-17.
That is crazy.
Let me see.
Don't wait for Caesar if he don't say nothing.
Caesar, what's the bias pick? With me picking with Bo Nix?
He said it's racial.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Said 3 amigos. You talking about back in the day when they had was it Vance Johnson, Mark Jackson. Who was the other receiver that was there at the time?
Ricky Nattiel. That is not right.
Ricky Nattiel was on that team, but now I'm going to go look it up. You remember who the other? You guys remember who the other receiver
3
was?
amigos
in Denver.
I'll Google it real quick.
And I should know because they were on my squad, but I rooted for him heavy. Was it Ricky Nattiel? I'm trying to think. Was he there when they?
Yeah, it was Ricky Nattiel.
Was Ricky Nattiel?
Yeah,
Ricky Nattiel. My man Elway, they used to get busy out there. So very interesting. So Caesar, you got 10 seconds. You got to score now. You will be moving on. He said Denver. Denver losing.
that ain't no score. See, that's why we can't let you participate in that.
Well, he already had that up there, but
that's why we can't let you participate in anything.
All right, so let's move on to the next game. Next game we have.
It's my own fault. I know that.
All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, you know what? No, he got a score up there. He got 17-21. He got the Colts winning.
21-17 Colts.
Yep. Next one is the big one. This is some people the game as the game of the week.
Oh yeah, that joint will be fire.
We got the Bills and the Lions going at it, and a lot of folks were wondering whether or not why wasn't this game flexed down, because it's not a bad matchup at the Sunday night game, which we are going to talk about. Maybe you might not be as anticipated. You might not be anticipating tonight's game as much as this one, but that's not a bad game to have when it's coming on Sunday night. But this business right here, 4:25 today, we have the red hot quarterback play of Josh Allen, who scored 6 touchdowns, no turnovers, and a loss here recently against the Detroit Lions, many deemed to be the best team in the NFL right now. How you feeling about this one?
Man, this jump about to be crazy. Y'all thought 44-42 was crazy. I ain't saying it's going to be more points, but it's going to be crazy, as crazy as that game was, regardless of what the score ends up being. Oh, man. Like, you got MVP hopefuls in Jared Goff, distant, and Josh Allen, probably the leader in the moment, or at least second, top 2. You got the 2-headed running game of Detroit. Then you got Buffalo, and you don't know what's going to happen with anybody else on the field. All you know is Josh Allen is going to do whatever needs to be done to put points on the board, regardless of who is on the other side of the football, if it's in the air or the handoff. Excuse me. The problem for me is how is Detroit going to stop? I mean, how is Buffalo going to stop Detroit? I can see how Detroit could slow down Buffalo. I
Yeah.
can't see how Buffalo is going to slow down Detroit. I cannot see it. I don't see it in any way, shape, or form. From the tight end to the wide receivers, plural, to the multiple running backs, and Goff just being on point at the crib too. At the crib, man. And I have to say it because I know you're thinking the same thing. I don't know if you said it or not. This is a possible Super Bowl preview. Possible
JB.
Super Bowl
JB said the
preview.
same thing. Yep.
So we got to put that out there. Oh man, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot for the stars, Brian. I'm gonna shoot for the stars. I'm gonna go a lot of points. Not as crazy as last week, but I'm gonna go Detroit 38, Buffalo 31 in a fun
Woo!
game. A lot of points up and down the field. It's gonna be crazy on that fast track. It's gonna be nice and dry up in that joint. No elements. Hey man, it's going down. It's going down. I don't know how the NFL gonna have the audacity to have all these games at the same time in the primetime spot.
Yeah.
That don't make no daggone sense. But anyway, 38-31, Detroit football.
Caesar got 50-27 the Lions.
I'm not even mad at it. I'm not even mad at it.
50,
Listen,
50
I
burger.
I wanted to say 42-27, but I couldn't bring myself to leave Buffalo under 30. So
JB 42-38 Detroit.
Josh Allen somewhere like, oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, this is gonna be fire, man. This is gonna be a fire game. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. And I'm scared because just like you said, I think the Bills can't start off slow in this game. So we've seen them start off slow and then Josh gain steam later. They got to start off fast in this one, man. And the Bills on that tough loss last week. How you 6 touchdowns from your quarterback? You don't turn the ball over, which Josh Allen has done very well this year. I'm gonna give those numbers in a sec. But you put up 42 points and you still lost last week. By 2. Josh Allen has to play another one of those type games in this particular game, on this particular matchup, though. But if you go over the entire season, what is he throwing for it? 5 interceptions, I believe? He hasn't thrown more than 7. I think the team is only I think the team is only giving the ball away as a whole, I think 13 times the entire season. So they've done really well protecting the football out there. But they definitely got to get out there and give him some help. Dan Campbell gonna do what he does. That two-headed monster at running back is as crazy and as efficient as I've seen any running game. Because they can beat you any way you want to play.
Yep.
These folks out here trying to tackle David Montgomery straight up, getting beat up. And then they don't want to halfway try when Gibbs come flying around that corner because they still recuperating what happened to him on the last series, right?
He'll beat you up too.
Yeah, this game is going to be crazy, if it lives up to the hype, man. Top 2 scoring offenses in the National Football League today. So it's going to be good. Don, did you put your score up? I ain't see it in there. I'm looking. Oh, here we go. I see it now. He got 38-33 Lions. I'm going to take
Come on, take Buffalo.
I'm going to take Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo. I'm just going to I got to do something today. I'm going to take Buffalo because my picks were so horrible last week, and I knew I had some show. I'm glad I didn't get in the SBP pool because I was feeling confident. And then I looked at what would have happened. I might have only won like 5 games last week. Stuff was terrible. And stuff was happening that wasn't supposed to happen. So
Definitely. It was crazy last week. Last week was outrageous.
Yeah, but I'm gonna take the Bills. I'm gonna take the Bills in this game to go out there and win it, man. And I'm gonna do it to the tune of 47-44.
Oh wow, Brian, you are doing it. I like it. I like what you're saying.
Need some points out there.
Yeah.
Need some points out there, man. So y'all make that thing happen. And I will admit, if this was to come down to being a Super Bowl matchup, no matter what happens today, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't know if I can judge how the Super Bowl is going to go by what happens today. You know, somebody in the might end up getting the brakes beaten off of them. Don't mean it's going to happen if they meet again. Like, you know, it's going to be a good football game, man. It's going to be a good football game. So y'all tune in. Well, I ain't got to tell y'all to tune in because I know y'all going to tune in.
Definitely.
So there it is. All right. So who we got up next? Let's see what we got popping. All right. Next up on the map, we got the Bucs and the Chargers going at it. Funny the season's in the comments. I got so many questions about this game. That's why it's hard to pick. Because one, I'm seeing on the Tampa Bay side that Bucky Irvin is supposed to try to give it a go today. How healthy is he? Because we see that man is a problem.
Yes, sir.
When he gets the rock. He is a problem when he gets the rock. How healthy on the other side is Justin Herbert? Because he's nursing, I bet it was a knee injury or sprained ankle, I'm sorry.
Ankle thigh.
Yeah, and a thigh. I see Lad McConkey's probably going to play, but how healthy is? Just so many questions about this game, man. So will make me lean one way or the other. How healthy is Mike Evans? Like, seeing him limping around in the last game again, which you're going to see that a lot from Mike Evans, but we give him grace because he is who he is.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many questions about this game, man, for me to pick a winner. So, but I'm going to let you guys pick your picks first. What you got, Source? What you think?
Yeah, this one's going to be a good one. Not going to be as exciting as the other ones, I don't think. I think it'll be a lower scoring game. So it's pretty much the Gus bus, right? It's pretty much the Gus bus at this point, and Vidal in the backfield for the Chargers. Chargers won't have enough charge.
I like it.
That ain't got no charge. That's funny. Yeah, with the injuries, shoot, there's injuries everywhere.
Yep.
Only person running around healthy is Baker Mayfield, and that doesn't bode well for me personally. And based on that fact that it doesn't bode well for me, I'm going with the Chargers. 20-17. 20-17 Chargers. Ugly game. A lot of toting that rock. A couple turnovers in the mix. And the Chargers found a way to get the dub.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to rest with the defense. Definitely the Chargers got the defense, one of the top defenses in the NFL. So they'll probably force these guys into a few mistakes. And I'm saying that there's a couple of times early in the year I picked against Baker Mayfield, and I just knew Baker was going to struggle because who they were playing, and Baker come out there slinging that thing, right? So hopefully that's not one of these days. I just like the Chargers defense a whole lot better than what they got going on the other side, even with all the injuries that the Chargers have on that. So I'm going to take the Chargers 23-20. And what's crazy, the Bucs need to take advantage of this because as tight as that race is in the South right now, they're the last team on their team schedule that's really has a winning record right now.
Wow, for real?
Yep. So Bucs need to take advantage, man. Bucs need to take advantage of this situation. Try to find a way to win this game so they can capitalize on what they got left on the schedule and maybe win that division.
Possible.
Yeah, get on into the playoffs. So would be huge for Tampa Bay if they could pull an upset. Caesar got his Chargers 15-12. JB got the Chargers 17-13. And of course, the Don Mega himself, 31-23 for the Bucs. So you know what that means, right? That means we didn't talk to. That means Baker gonna get busy.
Yeah.
That means Baker gonna get busy on
the
weekend.
have 4 touchdowns.
He say he picked this pick just to annoy Season.
I like it. I like the reasoning.
No doubt. Let's see what we got here. We down to the final two. Down to two games on the schedule. The next one is one that you're looking forward to. I know, and a lot of folks are looking forward to. It'll be the Battle of Pennsylvania. Is set to go down today as the Steelers go visit the Philadelphia Eagles. We know coming into this matchup, there is no pickings for the Steelers, so that don't bode well for Russ. So he's going to have to find some other weapons. So what your boys going to do today, man? How you feeling about this thing?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I do like that Pickens is not playing. I do appreciate that. It wouldn't make no difference because he was going to get clamped up anyway.
Where y'all find this defense at, man? Y'all ain't had that defense last year. Where y'all find it at?
I
Yeah,
mean, you
you
find you a coordinator and you find you a couple corners to lock in, and you say goodbye to Bradbury. And things tend to go your way a little bit. We locked in, seat belts everywhere, a whole lot of seat belts going on. I feel good about the Eagles' defense overall. Them boys balling, flying around, making plays. Like when it's third down, in many years, even when the Eagles have been good, in many years, when third down hit, I'm just waiting for the other team to get a first down. I know they're gonna get a first down. Something gonna go wrong, and they're gonna get a first down. This year, not so much. Like a lot of that can be attributed to the competition in the last 9 weeks. For the most part, hasn't been good.
right.
Um, the Rams, the Rams are the Rams are really good sometimes and not really good sometimes. So I can take that game with a grain of salt. Who knows? Baltimore game was legit, but then you turn around and you look at last week with Carolina, which could have easily been an L, um, and it just happened to work out in the Eagles' favor. So I'm still not on the Eagles are the best team, none of that at all. But I'm starting to come around a little bit. This will be a good test one way or the other. Pittsburgh, but again, no Pickens is a big deal for that offense. Can we deal with that Steelers defense though? That Steelers defense is kind of crazy. Um, I do think Saquon is going to get what he's going to get though. Like, but he gonna break a couple of joints, and it's probably gonna be in the second half. That's just gonna happen. Like, whatever happens, he's gonna break a couple of joints, whether he gets stuffed a lot early in the game or not. I'm going Eagles. I'm going Eagles. I don't know how we get to 26, but we'll get to 26. 26-22. Yeah, that's nice and ugly. 26-22 Eagles over Pittsburgh.
Man,
Ain't nobody got that score.
nah, I bet you didn't. No, nobody gonna sit in the comments at all. Yeah, man. Man. Look, man, it's it's supposed to be the city of brotherly love, right? It's supposed to be the city of brotherly love.
Why you
I don't know what's going on with your quarterback.
Why you gotta bring up old stuff?
I don't know what's going on with your quarterback and I guess your number one receiver. But ain't no love there. Apparently, these two out here, y'all winning and they fight. Like I just don't get it. And part of the reason that if you probably they're having the discussion that they're having is makes me think of the old Heavy D and the Boys Young. Now that we found love, what we gonna do is because Saquon Barkley, like y'all running the rock crazy good, but no one can stop it. But your man not liking the passing, the play calls in the passing game. But y'all winning. Like, so, I mean, is this about love? What is this, man?
Now, I'll say that in the words of Shannon Sharp, of all people, but in the words of Shannon Sharp, paraphrase, you shouldn't accept anything in a win that you wouldn't accept in a loss. I love that approach. You shouldn't accept anything in a win that you wouldn't accept in a loss. If something ain't right and you just happen to win the game, it still ain't right. You just happen to win the game. So you can't not address it or not speak on it, and then you lose and you're like, see, I told you that, I didn't tell you, but this was a problem. However, this was so unnecessary. It was unnecessary. The whole ordeal was unnecessary. The attitude when responding to the questions, the abrupt answers, which led to people looking at, which led to more questions. Basically, it led to a second question and a third question because of the way you answered the first question, and then you answered the second and third the same way you answered the first question, and the look on your face. It's a whole lot of things with the body language and all that point to the fact that there is a problem, regardless of what anybody else says or what they say after the fact and all that. I don't know about them being close or not close. I don't care if they're close or not close. I just care if they can get along on the field. That's all that really matters. I ain't got nothing to do with their personal relationship. But to say that, whether you think it's true, factual or not, it's unnecessary. It's like going out talking about your wife to whomever. Why would you do that? There's no benefit. You can't win doing that. You're just creating issues that don't even have to be there.
Exactly.
So it was silly. It was just, but it's AJ Brown. It ain't like, this ain't nothing new. It ain't like AJ Brown just started being AJ Brown last week. They said it back when he was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
When he was getting ready to leave.
Romans last year.
Philly gonna learn about AJ Brown. Yeah, it happened. It happened before, so it ain't nothing new. It's just like silly time. It's just it just strengthens the point of saying he's selfish because there's no benefit to doing this. There's nothing gained by doing this publicly, whether you do it in private or not. Publicly, it's silly, and you look bad because Saquon getting busy and you acting like you ain't getting busy, so it's a problem. No, that ain't the problem. Y'all can fix that between the team within the organization, not in the public.
Yeah, did you see the T.O. chiming in on your boy McNabb?
Oh, back and forth.
Man, that was classic. Funny, you be the one to say that.
Yeah, I know you ain't talking.
I know you ain't talking. Yeah. DB said, he liked the Steelers and stunned the Eagles today. He said Tomlin gonna be the difference.
Shocking, DB.
He said Mike Tomlin gonna be the difference. So vote of confidence for your man's Mike Tomlin. All y'all want to fire him all the time.
Yeah, that's all they want to do is fire him.
So he like Tomlin over Sirianni today. Caesar asked, was he gonna trip somebody again?
He was wild for that, bro. Like that was
boy.
Oh wow, rest in peace, Jacoby Jones. It was Jacoby, right?
I wish I had that video right now. Wish your man gonna trip somebody. Man, this is crazy. I agree, Don. Mike Williams gonna have to get back, make his presence known. He's to get back after he scored that touchdown that 1 week. He been on a milk carton. So Mike Williams gonna have to step it up today, man. Yeah, I like the Eagles in this game, man. I was trying to say 27-20. I mean, Steelers can clinch. One of the scenarios for the Steelers to clinch, though, is it for them to win today. They win, they end. There's some other scenarios that can get them in as well, but they automatically end if they win today. But they haven't won in Philly since 1965.
Yeah, and then changed, but the numbers on the range. Then people's got Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Cincinnati on the way out the door. Dang.
Man, if anything bodes well for your man AJ, though, last time they played, remember he went off on them people, man. He had 3 touchdowns, 156 yards last time they played the Steelers a couple years ago. So there's a vote of confidence for him right there. So what we got in there? We got the guys. We got Don, the Eagles 20-17. JB, the Eagles 24-21. And Caesar has the Eagles 34-24.
I like Caesar score the best.
And DB want to let you know ain't nothing personal. at all.
Hey, look,
Oh man,
I take Mike Tomlin over Sirianni too. I ain't mad.
for sure. All right. Down to the last game. Last game of the day would be Sunday night football.
Yeah, that's a good
Big
one.
matchup for both teams, man. When we're talking about the playoffs here, we're talking about the Packers taking on Seattle in Seattle, man. We know there's no Kenneth Walker again this week, supposedly. I picked against Seattle when I was on with Jawan and Didge last week, mainly because Kenneth Walker wasn't playing. And I made the comment that Zach Charbonnet has showed me nothing after I hyped him up last year. And every time he gets in the game, he has to fill in for Walker. You have those little meager, 15 carries for 52 yards. So he doesn't score. I made those comments last week, and he went off.
He said, "Oh yeah," he watched the show actually.
He must have. He might. And Zach, I'm sorry. Zach, I'm sorry. Don't mean I'm gonna pick you out today. I'm sorry on that. So, yeah, man. But the Seahawks, man. As of right now, before they kick off, they have the same amount of wins as the Rams, who just won over here on Thursday night. So this tells you how important this game is in the NFC West for them. What you think about it?
Does the 12th man still exist?
I don't know. Let me call over there. They're pretty loud in that stadium, though. Yeah, they're pretty loud over there.
So they at the crib. This is a good game right here too. Like I still would prefer Buffalo and Detroit uh, in the prime in the 8 o'clock spot, but can't complain about this one. Seattle is leading the NFC West, and what they can go up a game if they get the dub this week. And that they lost 3 games in a row early this season, right? What they 3-0, and then they was 3-3.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they got on a hot streak again.
Yeah, so
They didn't win 4 in a row here recently, I believe.
yeah, so they've been balling, and I haven't trusted them very much in the latter part of the season, or at all this season, to be honest. Um, but I think I'm going out on that limb today, though. That's another one where if the visiting team was at the crib, then I would pick them. But Seattle's at the crib. I think it's going to be a good game. And Green Bay definitely can win the game. Like, there's no question about that. But I'm going to go Seattle 28-23 because I wanted to bring that 23 back around because that's the only reason
Yeah,
I
it
said
is.
23.
Man, this is actually a fire game for everything that's actually on the table with this one. For me, I made the mistake. I think the last 2 times I picked against Seattle, they won. I definitely, like I said, I picked against them last week, and of course they won. And I probably would go ahead and say that they're gonna win this one. But there's this guy by the name of Josh Jacobs that has been crazy. A couple of games ago, he went for 151.
Crazy.
A nice game, a decent game last week. He's already over 1,000 yards on the season, and he has been a problem for teams trying to slow down that offense. They can always go to him, man. So I really think that he's going to be able to run on Seattle today. Home team has won the last 10 matchups in this series, though. And they are playing in Seattle, so it's kind of tricky. But I got to take my hat off to the Packers, man, in this tough matchup, because you think about it. Do you realize that they got 4 losses right now? Their 4 losses were all to teams that have at least 11 wins. Other than that, they're taking people down. They're just taking people down. They lost to your Eagles. They lost to the Vikings. Yep. And they've lost twice to Detroit.
Tough squad.
Yeah, so they got, all those teams got 11 wins. Seattle ain't got but 8. So I could go that route and say, nah, they definitely going to win. Or I can go the route like I told you about the home team winning the last 10 matchups. So, but I'm going to go against the grain. Packers 29-24. Get the job done against the 12th man.
I like it, Brian. I like it.
JB got the Packers 33-24. Don got the Packers 21-20. I don't see anything from Caesar yet, but yeah, and it's very important, man. If you look at this, you look at the Seattle needing this win though over there, trying to claim the West. So after this, they still got the Vikings on the schedule. Then they got the Bears. I mean, you don't know how that's going to turn out. But then they play the Rams to end the season. So we're talking about the two teams. That week could very well come down to, week 15, for the division. Week 18 for the division.
Yeah, 18. It's going down, baby. It's going down.
Yeah, so very, very important matchup. Very, very important matchup. Big matchup as well.
Wait, what Caesar didn't say anything? Oh, I missed it.
Now I see him still talking about the Niners in here. I don't see no score. Oh, here he is. Packers 27-23.
Caesar want to bring around that 23 one more time too. I see you, Caesar.
I love throwing that Jordan number up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Get y'all. Get all y'all. Hey, I tell you something that's interesting, man. I tell you, it's not interesting. Like none of you guys are going to care. And I actually, as a Cowboy fan, I think it's funny. Do you realize that today is the first time the Carolina Panthers have been favored to win the game the entire season?
I thought we was going to talk about that game, Prime. I thought we was going to talk about that game.
We can talk about it.
I definitely was ready to pick the Carolina Panthers. I ain't got no problem doing it.
Probably everybody in the chat probably was too. Everybody in the chat probably will talk about them too. Hey, man, it is what it is. I mean, it's a combination of two things. The state of the Cowboys, although in the past few weeks we've actually played okay, even in the loss the other night, right? But then you add in more of the injury bug. We lost to Marvin Overshawn for the season.
It was tough.
Horrible injury, and he was balling this year after coming back from an injury early in his career. Diggs just shut it down for the season yesterday. No Zach Martin. He's done. So, you add all those factors into the mix, and not to take anything away from the Carolina Panthers, but Carolina is actually looking better. They found a bit of a running game. Bryce Young won his daddy's records. I'm saying, they out there playing some football, man. So I understand. Just to think that when I was entertaining going to games this year, that was one of the games that we had circled on the schedule.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad we didn't buy those tickets.
My wife is actually
they'd have been on StubHub by now anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. I'd have got rid of them.
My wife is in Charlotte right now.
Is she?
Yeah. Actually, the last time.
I know we're gonna lose because Caesar just said that we were gonna win. So it don't matter. We gotta be playing for draft picks right now. So
last time we was in Charlotte at a cheer comp, all four of us, was when Carolina played Seattle in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And we went over to the tailgate. Kelsey and I did anyway, while Jada was performing that second day, and my wife was coaching. So we had a good time out there. But yeah, Carolina has played a lot better, a lot more competitive football in recent history. Bryce Young looks a lot better, and he's been feeding the old veteran Adam Thielen. Thielen been getting busy for the last couple of weeks. And looking a lot better. I think it's going to be more of that today. I think Thielen's going to get busy today. Going to get a lot of opportunities.
Is Thielen playing? I got to see. I know there was some questions about him this week.
Oh, was it?
Man.
Thielen. No, yeah, I don't see nothing about him.
Okay, he good money.
And he's had 10 and 11 passes thrown his way in the last 2 weeks. 21 total in the last 2 weeks. So I expect more of that to jump off today. Your man's Dowd will still get busy. If nobody else, You get in the Panthers game now for the price of a tall boy and a pack of peanuts. And you can call
You can
two
still
plays.
call two plays.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, I'm going to put Dowdle in my lineup, but I'm going to say Dowdle left and Dowdle right. I don't care what the play is. But I'm definitely going to Carolina. I'm going to give a score, too, while we're here. 30-17. Go ahead, Carolina. Get a double-digit win.
Oh, they going to hang 30 on it? Well,
30 of them things.
I'm trying to figure, but I don't know who's going to stop them. So, Chuba Hubbard probably get a $130 on the ground.
Right.
Yeah, so, I'll be honest with you, I can't even be mad at that score. So, that's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be. What it's going to be.
Hey, Caesar said Cowboys for the win. I said we're going to lose. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I feel like it's one of those games we'll probably mess around and hang around for a minute. And they get a little extra boost. I mean, maybe, I don't know, 24, maybe 24-20. I kind of like that score. I didn't use it a couple times a day, I think, at least once. So,
24-20.
Caesar like the boys 30-21. Don got the Panthers 17-13.
How Dallas going to score 30 points?
Well, we get a Turpin return, and I don't know. Your boy, he only been back a couple of games playing. Decided to get a pick, at least one pick six for the season, and then you never know, man.
That's nice. I like it. I like what you're saying.
CD getting in his own at least one time like he did last week, and you just never know.
Brandon
Aubrey kick a couple, so it can happen.
Miss an extra point, kick a field goal, 30.
I mean, it could actually go down. It could actually go down. Only other thing I got, and that's what they got to pick the game, is that everybody be watching that Cleveland game, because Cleveland, you know how Cleveland is. Cleveland to mess around and just be that 1 week after Jameis throw a ton of picks and they mess around and beat you. And they are playing the Chiefs.
Yep.
So that's gonna be something to watch. Definitely gonna be something to watch. So keep an eye on that one. And I guess we just mentioned, and he's supposed to get they may get Hollywood back next week. So they're just trying to win, lock up the division, and keep it moving.
Hollywood swinging.
You got a thing for the people out there, man? That they even put out there?
No. Well, actually, the last 2 weeks, the last 2 Wednesdays, if anybody's into it, beats. Shout out to Kiarina and Cheryl, who actually popped in lives on TikTok over
Cheryl Park.
Oh, she bought it. I was like, "What Cheryl Park doing right here?"
What up, Cheryl?
And Kiarina was in that joint. She stayed for the whole joint. She was in there.
I have no doubt.
Whole joint.
She go hard for that hip hop, baby.
So the last 2 Wednesdays from 7 to about 8:30, we've done kind of like a beat cipher. Just had some producers pull up, play some beats, and talk about some their influences and all that type of stuff. So they want to run it back again. It was supposed to be a 1 week thing because I was just jumping doing different things on Wednesdays. They want to come back again. They like, hey, we know we're gonna get, and then I'm like, all right, well, we run it again. We run it again. So Wednesday 7 to 8:30, beat cipher on the TikTok page. So of course, feel free to come through. If you know somebody that's a producer, tell them to come through, pull up. They can play some beats. We vibe out a little bit, have a good time, and all that good stuff 1 week before the holiday. So let's do it.
Yes, Caesar. Well, look, I don't know what Source gonna say about it, but I'm extending that hand to you. If you are free,
boo,
around 11-ish, or sometime a little shortly after, you are welcome to come on the show to pick some games. So
boo that man. Boo that man.
Yes, he took it kind of personal because he saw Jawan. I guess he didn't recognize Didge, and he said, "Who's the new guy?" And I said, "Hey, no, dude, Didge was on last year at least 3 times."
Who's the new guy?
Who is that?
So you was off at basic training boot camp too long.
Said my guy Didge been on several times, man. Where you been? He said he's a changed man. Well, we're gonna see. I don't know.
That is
we're
definitely
doing that Nana talk today.
that is definitely not true.
Yeah, no doubt. But that's it, y'all. We appreciate y'all ever so much. As always, I appreciate the participation for sure. Everybody checking in. Hopefully your teams win today if you're playing.
Except for you Pittsburgh fans, DB.
We heard it from the man. He said, except for you Pittsburgh fans, we're gonna see what happens with that one. And we appreciate it. And you heard Caesar. If Caesar is free, he just may be special guest next week. So we'll see what happens with that.
I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah, so it's gonna be busy. So, but Caesar just may be on next week. So I'm gonna be here. So Caesar, let me know. Peace out, JB, DB, the Don Mega, Caesar, AK. If you still in the building, everybody that checked in, we appreciate y'all. Until the next time, we are out of here.
Chill.